Hello everyone, Steven McAuley here again, shooting what we'll call segment 3 to the question and answers as provided to us from certain shareholders. So we'll just go ahead and dive into it and continue on. This section has been labeled as Chi Medical and Testing. There's a few different topics here. Question 1, you sold and conducted very few tests despite the warehouse being full. Later became known that some tests were confiscated because they were counterfeits and could not be distributed further. Suspected that some Empower tests fell into this category. In the end, the warehouse was auctioned off because you didn't pay bills, and that was much later. Why did you maintain the warehouse for so long? Why didn't you sell or destroy the warehouse goods to keep operating costs low? Is there a contract term in the warehouse? Why did you use it? Didn't you use it more wisely? Response, we did not have any tests confiscated and none of our tests were counterfeits. We had minimum quantities to purchase at the time of acquiring the tests. We also did not know exactly how many tests were going to be required for a cruise ship testing program. We did end up using many thousands of tests for the program, but in the end we had excess inventory that ultimately expired and had to be written off. Next question, why did you cling so desperately to Dallas Laboratory? You renamed it several times from Chi Medical Laboratories to Empower Labs and ultimately Medisure Laboratory. Why didn't you divest it to minimize damage? So in this case, we were making attempts to save laboratory operations, to make a return in our investments. We also had ongoing liabilities to consider, so working on a new path was appropriate at the time. Eventually, as the new developments were not getting traction, a decision to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy on that entity was the appropriate course of action. This successfully completed in 2023. Next question, why did you tolerate money being wasted for so long? We haven't seen good results from Yoshi and your team. What we have seen, however, were regularly expensive trips, golf events, and sponsored golfers that led to no results. So in this case, our response, we agree, and this and other factors led to the leadership change at Chi Medical Laboratory. Next question, it was announced back in April 2021 that 2 film studios had placed orders for 5,000 PCR tests each, totaling $750,000 revenue. Why did these figures never appear in quarterly reports? So the response, all revenues for Chi Medical were included in a consolidated financial report for the particular quarter or for full year. We saw very strong revenue at the beginning from Chi Medical, including film and television testing work. Next section is called Legal Proceedings. First question, why did you decline to accept the Yoshi lawsuit via email and actively prevent delivery? Why were you on vacation instead of addressing it? So this is an ongoing matter, and we're just not going to be able to discuss it at this time. Why did you respond so late to the SEC letters? So most of the SEC communication has been by phone and Zoom, not so much by letters. We have kept regular dialogue going, and the last call was on April 11th. What is the current status of proceedings with the SEC? Are you actively working to rectify the situation? Answer is yes, we are. We need to provide overdue filings. That's the step that they're looking for. 4, what are the prospects of ongoing lawsuits, and how much damage could potentially result from these lawsuits in the worst case scenario? Once again, these are ongoing matters and we just cannot discuss it at this time. Number 5, or question number 5, how many lawsuits are currently ongoing or announced against Empower, you or a subsidiary or other companies associated, for example, through the involvement of team members and ongoing litigation against them and companies that they are involved? All active matters are disclosed. There's nothing that isn't in the public domain. Number 6, this is an unusual one. The question is this case related to you? It refers to some other Texas action. I did look at the case number and it has nothing to do with me or EPW or Empower. We'll go ahead and conclude right there and move on to segment number 4 shortly.